Most men believe female attraction works the way they've been taught. Be confident, be kind, show interest, put in effort, and if she loses interest, try harder. But that belief is exactly why so many men never understand what actually turns attraction on or why it disappears without warning. Because the dark truth about female attraction is this: it has very little to do with what you do and almost everything to do with what you trigger emotionally without trying. Women don't fall for effort, they fall for emotional position. And most men unknowingly put themselves in the weakest position possible the moment attraction starts. Here's the uncomfortable reality nobody talks about. Female attraction is not logical, it is not moral, it is not fair. It is biological and emotional, and it responds to signals, not intentions. You can have good intentions and still repel attraction. You can mean well and still lose her interest fast. Because attraction doesn't care what you meant, it cares what you feel like to her nervous system. And that system is always scanning one thing. Is this man stable within himself, or is he seeking stability from me? That distinction changes everything. Most men believe attraction grows when they show more interest, but showing interest is not the problem. Needing interest is. The moment a man's emotional state starts depending on her response, attraction begins to decay, not slowly, immediately. Because dependence triggers pressure, and pressure is the fastest way to shut desire down. Here's the part that makes most men uncomfortable. Women are not attracted to men who want them. They are attracted to men who want without needing. That difference is invisible to men, but obvious to women. Wanting without needing feels grounded. Wanting with need feels heavy. Heavy emotions activate resistance, and resistance looks like distance, silence, coldness, loss of interest. Another dark truth is this: women don't pull away because you didn't do enough. They pull away because you started doing too much for the wrong reason. You weren't expressing desire, you were trying to secure it, and security kills tension. Tension fuels attraction. This is why attraction often disappears right after things go well, right after intimacy, right after connection, right after she shows interest. Because success destabilizes men emotionally. They lean, they monitor, they adjust, and that internal shift is felt instantly. Another uncomfortable truth nobody talks about is this: female attraction does not grow from reassurance. It grows from uncertainty paired with safety. Safety without uncertainty feels boring. Uncertainty without safety feels dangerous. The men women desire provide both without trying, because their emotional center does not move. Another deep truth is that women are not attracted to men who chase clarity. Clarity ends mystery. Mystery sustains desire. The moment a man tries to define the connection, attraction weakens. Not because she doesn't want connection, but because desire needs space to breathe. Another dark truth is that female attraction is extremely sensitive to emotional shifts. Not words, not looks, not tactics. Shifts. A change in tone, a change in pace, a change in emotional gravity. When a man goes from grounded to outcome-focused, attraction responds immediately. Another uncomfortable realization is that women don't lose interest because they are fickle. They lose interest because the man stopped being the version of himself that attracted them. Not externally, internally. He stopped trusting himself. He stopped being still. He stopped letting things unfold. And once that happens, attraction no longer feels free. It feels managed, and managed attraction dies. Another dark truth is this: female attraction is not something you build, it's something you allow or block. Most men block it without realizing, by over-explaining, by over-investing, by over-validating, by reacting emotionally to shifts. Each reaction leaks need, each leak weakens attraction. Another uncomfortable truth is that women don't respond to how much you care. They respond to how little you need to be cared about. Neediness creates emotional burden. Burden kills desire. Another deep realization is that women don't want men who are emotionally intense. They want men who are emotionally contained. Contained emotion feels powerful. Spilled emotion feels unstable. Another dark truth is that female attraction is not about being impressive, it's about being unshakable. The man who is unshaken by silence, unshaken by distance, unshaken by uncertainty, that man feels safe to desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction collapses when a man makes a woman the emotional center of his life. Being desired feels good. Being responsible feels suffocating. Another dark truth is this: women don't want men who revolve. They want men who stand. Stand in their values, stand in their pace, stand in their emotional center. And the moment a man stops standing, attraction begins to slip. Quietly, without drama, without explanation. This is why most men never understand what happened. They were doing everything right, but internally they shifted into the one position attraction cannot survive around. And this is only the surface of the truth, because once you understand what actually drives female attraction, you stop chasing answers. You start removing mistakes. And when the mistakes disappear, attraction doesn't need effort. It appears naturally and stays. And this is where most men's entire understanding begins to collapse. Once you see this clearly, a lot of confusing female behavior suddenly makes sense. Why interest spikes and then vanishes. Why attraction feels intense and then cold. Why women say one thing and do another. It's not manipulation, it's response. Response to emotional positioning. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this: women are not attracted to consistency in behavior. They are attracted to consistency in emotional center. Most men misunderstand this. They think consistency means texting the same way, showing up the same way, investing the same way. But behavioral consistency without emotional grounding feels mechanical. What actually attracts is internal consistency, the man who remains the same whether she leans in or pulls away. That steadiness feels rare, and rarity attracts. Another uncomfortable truth is this: women don't want men who are emotionally available at all times. They want men who are emotionally available without being emotionally dependent. Dependence is what kills attraction. Availability alone does not. Another deep truth is that female attraction responds more strongly to how you handle loss of control than how you handle success. Most men look confident when things go well, but when uncertainty appears, they unravel. Uncertainty reveals truth, and uncertainty is where attraction is decided. Another dark truth is that women are extremely sensitive to emotional timing. Not what you say, when you say it. Men who rush emotional disclosure collapse tension. Men who pace naturally preserve it. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction grows when a woman feels she is discovering you, not being presented with you. Discovery creates engagement. Presentation creates passivity. Another deep truth is this: women are not attracted to men who explain their value. They are attracted to men who assume it. Assumption signals self-trust. Self-trust is magnetic. Another dark truth nobody likes to hear is this: female attraction does not reward sacrifice. It rewards self-respect. Men who give up themselves for attraction lose it. Men who keep themselves attract more. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction fades when men start living for the connection instead of within their lives. When life shrinks, attraction suffocates. When life expands, attraction breathes. Another deep truth is that women are not drawn to emotional intensity. They are drawn to emotional clarity. Clarity is calm. Calm is attractive. Another dark truth is that women do not want to be the source of a man's confidence. They want to respond to it. Confidence borrowed collapses. Confidence owned lasts. Another uncomfortable realization is that female attraction responds negatively to emotional over-explanation. Over-explanation signals fear of being misunderstood. Fear repels desire. Another deep truth is this: women don't want men who chase emotional security. They want men who already feel secure. Security that comes from within. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this: female attraction is deeply tied to freedom. The moment a woman feels she is being emotionally relied upon, desire weakens, not because she doesn't care, but because responsibility replaces attraction. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction dies fastest around men who seek certainty. Certainty removes mystery. Mystery sustains desire. Another deep truth is that women are not attracted to men who ask for permission emotionally. Permission seeking lowers position. Position determines attraction. Another dark truth is that women do not want men who try to manage their feelings. Management feels controlling. Freedom feels inviting. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction grows when a man is okay with not being chosen. That acceptance removes fear. Fearlessness is attractive. Another deep truth is this: women do not fall for men who are perfect. They fall for men who are internally solid. Solid men don't wobble. They don't chase. They don't secure. They don't panic. They allow. Another dark truth nobody talks about is that female attraction is not built on effort. Effort reveals striving. Striving reveals lack. Lack kills desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction responds to emotional gravity, not emotional availability. Gravity pulls. Availability pushes. Another deep truth is that women lose attraction when men try to control outcomes. Control creates pressure. Pressure shuts attraction down. Another dark truth is that attraction increases when a man lets things remain undefined. Undefined space allows feeling to grow. Another uncomfortable realization is that female attraction is deeply selfish, not morally, biologically. It responds to what feels good and safe, not what is fair, not what is kind, not what is logical. And once you understand this, you stop taking it personally. You stop trying to reason with attraction. You stop fighting it. You start aligning with how it actually works. And when alignment replaces effort, attraction becomes simpler. Not easier, but clearer. And this clarity changes everything about how you show up, because now you're no longer trying to get attraction. You're focused on not repelling it. And that shift is where real power begins. When you stop trying to earn attraction, another uncomfortable truth becomes obvious. Most men are not rejected. They are felt as unstable. And instability is what female attraction moves away from fastest. Not instability in life, instability in emotional grounding. A man can be struggling financially and still feel attractive. A man can be inexperienced and still feel compelling. But the moment his emotional center starts shifting based on her reactions, attraction weakens. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this: women are not evaluating men consciously most of the time. They are responding. Responding to tone, responding to pace, responding to emotional weight. That's why logical arguments never save attraction. You cannot explain your way back into desire. Desire does not listen. It feels. Another uncomfortable realization is that women don't lose interest because men show vulnerability. They lose interest because men show vulnerability without containment. Uncontained emotion feels like emotional leakage. Leakage feels unsafe. Containment feels strong. Another deep truth is this: female attraction is highly sensitive to emotional reversals. When a man starts confident and becomes hesitant, when he starts grounded and becomes reactive, when he starts independent and becomes dependent, those reversals are felt immediately, and attraction responds to trajectory, not history. What you were before does not protect you. What you are now determines everything. Another dark truth is that women are not attracted to men who need to be reassured of their value. Reassurance shifts emotional labor onto her. Emotional labor kills desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction weakens when men start anticipating rejection. Anticipation changes behavior. Behavior leaks fear. Fear repels. Another deep truth is that female attraction responds negatively to emotional urgency. Urgency communicates scarcity. Scarcity creates pressure. Pressure triggers avoidance. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this: women are not attracted to men who collapse into certainty. Certainty feels like closure. Closure ends emotional movement. Attraction needs movement. Another uncomfortable realization is that female attraction is deeply connected to how a man handles ambiguity. Ambiguity is inevitable. The man who tolerates it calmly feels powerful. The man who rushes to resolve it feels weak. Another deep truth is this: women are not drawn to men who constantly seek alignment. Alignment removes polarity. Polarity fuels desire. Another dark truth is that women lose attraction when men become emotionally predictable. Not predictable in values, predictable in reactions. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction fades when men turn emotional connection into obligation. Obligation replaces choice. Choice fuels desire. Another deep truth is that women are attracted to men who are emotionally self-referencing. They look inward for stability, not outward. Self-referencing men are not controlled by reactions. That autonomy feels safe. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this: female attraction is far more responsive to absence of fear than presence of confidence. Confidence can be performed. Fear cannot be hidden. Another uncomfortable realization is that women lose attraction when men start competing for attention. Competition reveals insecurity. Insecurity leaks. Another deep truth is that attraction responds to emotional leadership. Leadership here means holding your own emotional weather, not outsourcing it. Another dark truth is that women are not attracted to men who over-prioritize harmony. Harmony without tension feels flat. Tension without conflict feels alive. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction dies when men become emotionally reactive to small changes. Small changes are normal. Reactivity is not. Another deep truth is this: women are attracted to men who do not try to control how they are perceived. Control signals fear. Fear shuts desire down. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this: female attraction responds to who you are when you're not trying to impress. That version of you is the real signal. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction grows when men stop narrating their intentions. Narration closes mystery. Mystery sustains desire. Another deep truth is that women do not want men who seek emotional guarantees. Guarantees remove freedom. Freedom fuels attraction. Another dark truth is that attraction is not built through consistency of effort, it is sustained through consistency of self. Another uncomfortable realization is that women lose attraction when men emotionally hover. Hovering feels invasive. Distance chosen feels exciting. Another deep truth is this: female attraction is not about being chosen, it's about not needing to be chosen. And once you understand that, you stop trying to manipulate attraction. You stop trying to optimize it. You stop trying to control it. You start respecting it. And respect changes how you move, how you speak, how you pause, how you allow. Because now you understand something most men never do. Attraction is not fragile. It only collapses when you interfere with it. And once you stop interfering, something interesting happens. Interest stops feeling like a problem to solve. It starts feeling like a natural response. And this is where the deepest truth about female attraction finally reveals itself, because everything up to this point has been about what turns attraction off. But the real power comes from understanding what keeps it alive. What keeps attraction alive is not effort. It is emotional self-containment. This is the part almost no one teaches, because it cannot be packaged as a tactic. Self-containment means your emotional state belongs to you, not to her reactions, not to her attention, not to her approval. When a man is emotionally contained, attraction feels free around him. Free attraction deepens. Restricted attraction escapes. Another dark truth is this: women don't lose attraction because men stop trying. They lose attraction because men start trying to control the outcome. Control creates tension in the wrong direction. It feels heavy. Desire needs lightness. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction stays alive when a man does not emotionally collapse during closeness. Closeness tempts men to fuse. Fusion removes polarity. Polarity fuels desire. The man who stays himself during intimacy becomes unforgettable. Another deep truth is this: women are attracted to men who allow emotional movement without chasing it. Movement toward you feels exciting. Movement pulled by you feels pressured. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this. Female attraction is extremely responsive to emotional discipline. Discipline is not rigidity, it is restraint. Restraint signals strength. Strength feels safe to desire. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction survives only around men who do not make women responsible for their happiness. Responsibility feels like weight. Weight crushes desire. Another deep truth is that women remain attracted to men who do not emotionally bargain. No hidden contracts, no silent expectations, just presence. Another dark truth is that attraction weakens when men confuse consistency with sameness. Sameness is predictable. Consistency of self allows variety. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction grows when men do not emotionally cling during uncertainty. Uncertainty is normal. Clinging is not. Another deep truth is this. Women stay attracted to men who trust their own pace. Not her pace, not the situation's pace, their pace. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this. Female attraction responds to emotional sovereignty more than any external trait. Sovereignty means you govern yourself, your reactions, your needs, your direction. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction collapses when men start optimizing behavior instead of embodying values. Optimization feels artificial. Embodiment feels real. Another deep truth is that women stay interested when men do not emotionally outsource decision-making. Asking for constant emotional feedback kills polarity. Another dark truth is that attraction lives in the space between certainty and mystery. Men who rush to certainty close that space. Men who allow mystery keep attraction alive. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction deepens when a man does not emotionally escalate to match her feelings. Matching collapses polarity. Holding your ground preserves it. Another deep truth is this. Female attraction is maintained by non-interference. Most men interfere constantly. They adjust, they secure, they chase, and they react. And every interference weakens attraction. The men who keep attraction do something far simpler. They stop interfering. They stay centered, they keep living, they keep choosing themselves. And because of that, attraction has room to breathe. This is the level where attraction stops feeling fragile because it's no longer being managed. It's being allowed. And when attraction is allowed, it becomes resilient, quiet, deep, and hard to shake. And there is one final truth that ties all of this together, because once you see it, female attraction stops being confusing forever. The final dark truth about female attraction is this. Attraction does not grow when you try to create it. It grows when you stop trying to secure it. Most men never realize this because everything they've been taught says the opposite. Try harder, be clearer, show more interest, prove consistency. But attraction does not reward effort. It rewards emotional freedom. Freedom to choose, freedom to move, freedom to feel without obligation. And that freedom only exists around men who are free themselves. Another uncomfortable truth is this. Women do not lose attraction because men make mistakes. They lose attraction because men lose their center. A mistake can be forgiven. Loss of center cannot be ignored, because center is what creates emotional gravity. Another deep truth is that attraction stays alive when a man is not trying to be impressive. Impressive fades, grounded remains. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction is not about being special, it is about being self-contained. A self-contained man does not leak fear, he does not leak urgency, he does not leak expectation. And without those leaks, attraction feels safe and alive. Another dark truth nobody talks about is this. Women are not attracted to men who need them emotionally. They are attracted to men who choose them emotionally. Choice feels powerful. Need feels heavy. Another deep truth is that attraction is sustained when a man does not emotionally collapse during silence, distance, or uncertainty. These moments are tests of self-trust. Men who trust themselves pass without effort. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction fades when men start living in anticipation instead of presence. Anticipation creates anxiety. Presence creates calm. Calm attracts. Another deep truth is this: female attraction is not mysterious, it is precise. It responds consistently to emotional signals. Men struggle because they focus on behavior instead of being. Another uncomfortable realization is that women are not pulled by promises. They are pulled by emotional consistency. Consistency of self, consistency of pace, consistency of inner state. Another deep truth is that attraction does not respond to reassurance. It responds to confidence that does not need reassurance. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction is strongest when a man is okay with any outcome. Outcome independence removes pressure. Pressure kills desire. Another deep truth is that attraction does not survive around men who abandon themselves to be chosen. Self-abandonment is felt instantly. Another uncomfortable realization is that women stay attracted to men who do not make them the emotional center of their lives. Being wanted feels good. Being responsible does not. Another deep truth is that attraction is not about control. It is about non-interference. The less you interfere, the more attraction organizes itself. Another uncomfortable realization is that the men who feel mysterious are not hiding anything. They are simply not explaining themselves. Explanation collapses mystery. Another deep truth is that attraction stays alive when a man continues becoming more himself, not less. Many men shrink once attraction appears. They soften, they adjust, they accommodate, and attraction fades. Another uncomfortable realization is that attraction is not something you win. It is something you keep space for. Space allows desire to move freely. Another deep truth is this: female attraction is not built through tactics. It is revealed through emotional self-mastery. Self-mastery is rare. Rare things attract. Now, if this video finally helped you see the truth behind female attraction and why so many men misunderstand it, there is one video you should watch next. Because attraction is not sustained by words, it is sustained by tension. And silence is one of the most powerful ways tension is created without effort. That's exactly what I break down in my video called How to Build Emotional Tension Without Saying Much. That video shows how silence, restraint, and presence create attraction naturally, and why talking less often makes you feel more intense. Watch that next. Because once you understand both the truth about attraction and the power of silence, everything starts to click. Attraction stops feeling confusing. It stops feeling random. It becomes a response, not to what you do, but to who you remain when nothing is guaranteed. That is the dark truth. And once you see it, you can't unsee it.